Sens fans, I tip my cap to you, man. If you followed this team basically since they joined the league in 92, through this post-2017 Eastern Conference Final rebuild playoff drought, and honestly even just this year alone, you've been on quite the roller coaster ride. It's not Buffalo Sabres level, but you have my respect nonetheless. It's not been easy. It all started with that Chris Kunitz knuckle puck in double OT in Game 7, one goal away from the Stanley Cup Final where, honestly, even though that Preds team was loaded, especially on D and in net, the way the big boys were going, especially Carlson and Anderson, plus the Cinderella runs that guys like Bobby Ryan, Hoffman, Peugeot, and Brassard were having, I think they would have had a pretty good shot even with how good Pecorine was during that run. Instead, look, I completely get it's not fair at all, or correct, to pin the entire changing trajectory of the Sens on this one move, but the Duchesne, Turris, Girard, and eventually Bo and Byram trade certainly acts as a marker, especially considering they were at a playoff spot when they made that deal. They tried to make an upgrade at the center position while also getting rid of a pending UFA, feeling like they were in a decent window to compete. I mean, they were one goal away from the Cup Final, and they kept most of the major pieces from that run. How high could that first round pick really be? Well, things then went very south, to the tune of them finishing second last in the league, and ending up with the 4th overall pick in the 2018 draft, which now having to choose between giving Colorado their 2018 first rounder or 2019 one. We all know which they chose. Now, with a really promising young cornerstone piece, a really exciting young defenseman who recently won World Junior MVP for Canada and looked to be shaping up as a number 1 D-man down the road, Pierre Dorion and the Sens really seemed to be focused on the future of the Ottawa Senators. So what did he do? He started blasting. Pieces from the 2017 run were already being moved, but the Mike Hoffman trade, I know there was quite a bit to that one, not only on the ice, but strictly on the ice. He was the team's 3rd leading scorer. It was a big change to the core and to the team. And then came the huge ones. Erik Karlsson, face of the franchise, captain, superstar, gets moved. That was huge. And then Duchesne, the guy acquired a year and a half ago to help push this team over the edge, he gets moved for futures. Dzingel, Mark Stone was a huge one. And we saw some other longtime Sens get moved. Cody Ceci, Zach Smith, JG Peugeot. It was basically clean slate rebuild in Ottawa. And through that, they started building their next core. Norris, Stützle, Sanderson, Batherson, Gregg, Pinto, in addition to Kachuk and Shabbat. But the one thing they just couldn't seem to stabilize since 2017 Craig Anderson was that starters net. It was like a revolving door. They tried so many guys. They'd maybe get flashes from a guy here or there, but nothing would stick for a prolonged period of time. And then, before you know it, you haven't seen the playoffs since the Kunitz knuckle puck. The drought's now at 8 seasons. Many of your core players are in their primes, and you go and make a deal to find what seems to be the clearest answer to your starting goalie question since 41 was in the net. The core seems hungry to finally get a taste of playoff hockey. The East wildcard race seems ripe with opportunity. The Sens should be able to take advantage of this. Well, if you know Sens hockey for the past 8 years, you know they and the hockey gods weren't going to make it that easy. They lost both their goalies for a bit and their starters week to week at a critical point in the season, plus they had to go on an extremely long road trip due to the World Juniors being in Ottawa, and they wobbled through that. Not to mention teams they're trying to keep up with like Detroit, Columbus, and Montreal are hot right now. They're in a super tight race right now, and this is such an important part of their season. And this past weekend on a back-to-back, you couldn't have asked for better. They badly needed those wins and got them both without Ullmark, and he was playing great before he went down, so him coming back should give them a boost. It's a battle from Boston all the way down to the Flyers for those 2 spots. It's not going to be easy for the Sens to get in there, but the opportunity's definitely there. They've just got to keep their heads above water and keep plugging away, which for this franchise historically has not been that easy. I didn't even mention losing the first round pick in the Dadonov fiasco, new ownership, the new arena stuff, even the Brady Tkachuk to the Rangers rumors earlier this year that spurred a soft tampering line from owner Michael Andlauer. Like I said, it's been some kind of roller coaster ride for these fans. That'll do for this one. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. Hope you have a great day. I'll see you in the next one.